insight, Mo. For those who just stepped in, this is my first Clubhouse back since taking my time away, and I am doing a simulcast. So I'm here in Clubhouse, and I'm also live streaming on my YouTube channel. So just know that anything you share is going to be shared on YouTube. So if you don't want to share it on YouTube, then you don't have to say it out loud. So anywho, I appreciate the reminder that when we're brought up or we're raised to be independent, it's very easy for us to get in the habit of saying, like, I'm good. I'm good. I don't really need anything. I don't need much. I'm cool. I can take care of myself. I don't really need any support. I don't really need to ask for help. And when I think of the question of who takes care of you, which is the question that I'm asking anyone who wants to share today, we can take really great care of ourselves, and it's also okay for us to ask for help. It's also okay for us to need support. It's also okay for us to say, I'm taking really great care of myself. And I know that there's going to be times when I'm not really good at that. So if you have friends, chosen family, spouses, members of your community that really, really see you and people that you really trust, it's okay to ask them to hold you accountable for taking great care of yourself. It's okay for you to say, hey, friend, hey, family, hey, boo, when you see me showing signs of falling apart or hitting a wall or overwhelm or overwork, would you please gently remind me how important it is for me to take great care of myself? Because in order for me to really reach the goals that I have for my business, for my brand, for whatever it is that I'm developing, in order for me to really reach those goals, I have to take really great care of myself. I don't get the choice of doing that because I am the energy and the driving force behind it. So for anyone who wants to share, you're welcome to come to the stage. You can raise your hand and I'll bring you up, and I'd love to hear from you. So Mo, while I have you up here, are there people in your community that help to hold you accountable for taking great care of yourself? And if so, will you tell me a little bit more about how they do that?
Yes, my family and my friends. If you have peace in your heart and you come with good intentions, you end up having a lot of friends and family just the same. And so I was blessed, so blessed, not lucky. I was blessed to have family and friends who always, they always text me, hey, Mo, how's everything? How's you doing? You want to talk? So anytime I wanted to talk to someone, they were always available for me unless they have to work or something like that. So it would be my friends, my family, because they see how I am and who I am and how I treat people. Mm-hmm. And so with that, they was like, Mo, I'm here for you if you need it. I couldn't go to my spouse at the time because, again, she was so dependent on me and really couldn't show me that, didn't know how to give me that, or more so it was always about her. Mm-hmm. I had to focus myself on something else or someone else who were more at peace, so I'd be able to understand what that looked like in a situation at the time. Mm-hmm. So it would be my friends and my family that got me through, and of course God, and my faith in faith in Him, and then my mother. Mm-hmm. And so it would be people like that.
Thank you for that. I appreciate that. Thank you. Welcome to the stage, Miss Baldhead Batty. It has been a moment since I had a chance to chat with you. This is an opportunity for some drop-in coaching. Also, we're coaching each other. Like I said at the very beginning, this conversation is definitely co-creative and co-collaborative. And I feel like even though I step in to the role of the coach, I feel like I always learn a little bit something more about myself from the insights that everyone shares. So thank you for that, Mo. And I would like to give you the stage to answer the question, who takes care of you? And also maybe share some ways that when you're not taking the best care of yourself. Trevelia?
Hey, everybody. Good evening. I'm just talking to you guys. I've been off social for a couple of weeks, kind of, sort of, I guess. And thank you for tagging me and pinging me, fam. I appreciate it because I really needed to just be free tonight and let some stuff out. This is a loaded question because I'm just coming off a hiatus where I decided to just stop. because I realized that with the ice storm that happened here in Dallas it's about a month ago now, triggered me. And I got to a place where I was like, I wasn't myself. And it triggered me because for the year of being in the pandemic, I was alone, and I still live alone. And I worked through it. I worked through the adjustment of, having to be in the house and, different things like that. And so after everything, I'm trying to recover and get some other stuff done. I have all of these projects on the table, and I'm like, okay, I could do it all. And, not realizing what's going on. And I lost 2 people recently. And then all of a sudden, like one day I just crashed and I just started to retreat, and I didn't want to go online. I just was like, I don't care. I just want to be in this space. And then I started to feel guilty. I'm like, I got to respond to people in my DMs, and I got to do this and I got to do that. And then I had to tell myself, but you got to take care of you first. You have to really, really figure out why you retreating. You have to understand that maybe your body's saying you need a moment. You have to understand that people will understand that you're not available all the time. You can't get on Clubhouse and pour out when you need to pour into yourself, especially because some things I was discussing on Clubhouse really got me to a place of thinking about me wanting to be a parent when I really wanted to be a parent and wasn't a parent. Like I wasn't a birth mom. My daughter's not but I'm a parent. But to have a child naturally or to adopt a child or whatever, an opportunity came and I didn't do it at the time. And I started having like all these issues. So I was discussing parenting with people and talking about how you can forgive your parents and get to a next level. And then it was like all these emotions came in, and I was just like, okay, I just need to stop. I need to stop. I need to be one with myself. I need to breathe. And because I live in Dallas without my family, that, my extended family, there's no one here per se to say, okay, take care of yourself. I have a few friends that will be like, how you doing? What are you doing? Are you eating? Are you doing stuff? Are you, what's going on? My family solution is you need to come home and just be here. And I'm like, that's not the solution, because I'm a much better person where I am.
Right.
I have grown by leaps and bounds because I was extremely neglectful of myself prior to. So now I'm more aware. And right now I just stop myself, and I'll have some friends who will call me and they'll be like, what's going on? I haven't seen you post anything or say anything. How are you doing? And it was like, we know you like to smile through everything. What's really going on? But this time it was just me. It was just me. Just saying, okay, you need to lean into this, figure this out, take a breath. And, after recovering from all the blood clots in my lungs, I, didn't have anybody here to like physically take care of me. But I have a good friend here who would just drop stuff off or, ask me, am I okay? So I do have one person, she's an older lady, she's one of my pastor friends, his wife, and she will get involved. But it's been a process. It's taught me a lot more resilience that I have for myself. But it's been interesting, to say the least. So I'm here to learn and to have help.
Well, good. I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear that you're here to learn and also to have some support, because one of the things that I think happened, like, my experience growing up in a relatively big family, dealing with a parent who was struggling with addiction when I was a child. My mom did a lot to be able to hold the family down and hold us together. And she also asked for a lot of help. When I was a kid, I remember feeling a little bit ashamed about how much help we needed, whether it was people coming over and bringing us food or getting hand-me-down clothes or other people having to pick us up from school. And by the time I got to be an adult, I remember building up this really subconscious belief that said, I'm not going to ask for help when I get older. I'm going to figure everything out on my own because I don't like being needy. I don't want anybody to think that I'm weak. I don't want anybody to think that I can't do it. And what happened was I got in the habit of literally not asking for help until the shit really, really hit the fan, where it was like, I probably could have asked for help like 3 months earlier and it might not have turned out quite so badly, but I'm going to wait until I'm actually about to die. Then I'll ask for help. I'm going to wait until I'm actually about to be homeless and then I'll ask for help. And so what I learned from those experiences was Asking for help is nothing to be ashamed of. A person who's able to humble themselves enough to say, I need support, is a person who is strong, who is resilient, who is courageous, and who is honest. Because just like when you think of giving and receiving gifts, when you refuse to ask for help, what you're doing is you're actually creating resistance for the universe, source, God, goddess, Earl, whatever you call it, to deliver the support that you actually need. When you don't even ask for it, there may be somebody just on the other end of a phone call or a text message or a DM or whatever that's like, oh, yeah, I got one of those, or sure, I have time, or oh, I know somebody who can, or oh, you can use this particular resource, or oh, I have an extra, whatever it is. When you don't ever ask, then you don't receive, period, in general. And so when it comes to support, when you find yourself to be in an area of need or a time of need, when you refuse to ask for support, it's coming from a place of arrogance, it's coming from a place of ignorance, and it's also coming from a place of fear, because no one wants to be judged. No one wants to be seen as needy. However, just like we like to help other people, other people like to help us. But if we don't give them the opportunity to do so, then we're robbing them of an experience to give, and we're robbing ourselves from an experience to receive. So that was a lesson that I had to learn over time. And that is why I recognized who takes care of me is me and everybody else that I ask for help from. So it's no longer a one-woman job. There is no pride in saying, I did it all myself, I don't need nobody. Like, that's just not even realistic. No man or woman is an island. We are meant to be in community. We are meant to support one another. And the more that we give each other opportunities to do that, the better off that we all are.
So I have a quick question for you, because that was excellent. And I is it okay to ask a question now?
It's absolutely okay to ask a question. Be my guest.
So what do? Like, what I struggle with, right, is the fear part. And like, I'll be honest, like, I was gonna DM you guys. I was gonna be like, okay, I know Sunday is the event. I want to sign up for that. I'm like, I really gotta figure my life out. And I was like, no, I can't. I don't. They don't even know me that well, but I'm really, really going through something. And when everybody in your family and even your friends depend on you to be the strong person, depend on you to always pull through, that's where I get stuck, because it's like, what do I do when they're always dependent on me? And when I have a moment where I'm just like, and it was hard, of course, in the pandemic, for people to get to me, because we're in a pandemic. And it's like, when you just need somebody to do the things that you would do for them, and then some.
Right. Being honest with yourself, being able to ask yourself and pause and check in and say, okay, self, do I really have the time? Do I really have the energy? Do I really want to show up for whatever it is that my friends or my family or my community is asking me to do? Because we can create time if we really want to. We can find energy if we really want to. But if we don't really want to, we can't find time or energy. And sometimes it's okay to just not want to show up. And I think what happens is that we judge ourselves, and we're hard on ourselves, and we say, well, no, because I'm the one that everybody relies on. I'm the one that everybody counts on. I'm always the one to show up. I'm always the one to come through. Sometimes it's okay not to do that. And when you find that you're in a space where you're feeling depleted, it's actually a disservice to yourself and to the people that you want to show up for to try to push through and do it anyway. It's a disservice to yourself and to the people that you want to show up for to not tell the truth and let them know, hey, you know what, right now, I'm really just not in the space where I can show up. And instead of coming there half-ass or trying to power through it, what I could really use from you, friend, family, community, is some support while I go over here and I take care of myself, because I'm the most important person in my life. And as much as I want to be able to show up for you, I don't want to show up for you half-ass. So I'd rather just take this time and not show up at all right now. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Thank you. You're going to make me adult a little bit harder, but I can do it.
I am going to make you adult a little bit harder. That is my job. It's my job. I'm making myself adult too. Shit. You know, I mean, there's Corona and quarantine and COVID gave a lot of us the privilege of saying no without explanation. And so what we get to do now as we move forward and as our world starts to go through another change and, you know, things start to open up, as they say, we still get to hold on to our no and hold on to it with conviction and understand that just because people's baby showers are happening in person now does not mean we have to go to every damn baby shower. And just because we get 15 wedding invitations does not mean we have to go broke going to every damn wedding. You know what I mean? We can still choose to check in with ourselves first. Ask ourselves, do I want this? Do I need this? Do I want to create the time for this? And if the answer to all of those is no, do I love myself enough to be able to speak up for myself, to take care of myself and say, hey, you know what? I appreciate the invitation. I'm not going to be able to make it. Period. That's it. Just check the no box on the RSVP. You know what I mean? No explanation, no guilt, no regret. It's okay. I think we need to give ourselves permission to let ourselves off the hook sometimes, because I think those of us who really love people and love to connect and love family and friends and community, we have a tendency to overcommit and sometimes underdeliver. And as a person who does this and understands how important it is to not do this, what I find is I used to be the person who every time somebody said, can you show up? Can you be? I would be like, yep, I'll be there. Count me in, count me in. And then I'd get home and be like, shit, I got something else to say. Okay, how am I going to be in two places at once? How can I literally divide myself and divide my time? What I started doing is getting in the habit of saying, you know what? That sounds really interesting, or that sounds fun. Thank you for inviting me. Let me get back to you. Let me get back to you. To the point where, you know, some friends are like, dang, you bougie, you busy, you got to get back to me. And I'm like, look, you're lucky I didn't just send you a link to my calendar and say, find a free spot. Okay. If I'm saying, let me get back to you, it's because I care enough about you to really consider whatever it is you're asking me to do, to consider it and see if I can really make myself available for it, because you do matter. So giving myself a beat to say, let me get back to you, is also giving myself a chance to ask myself those questions. Do I want this? Do I need this? Can I create time for this? Giving ourselves the space to that is really important.
Indeed. Thank you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I am not going to keep you all this evening. I appreciate you for popping in and dropping in. This room will be drop-in coaching, not necessarily business coaching, but drop-in coaching will be happening every Thursday at 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time here on Clubhouse and simultaneously on my YouTube channel. So I set an intention to be able to build a connection with a new audience on YouTube. And so I will be live streaming a couple of my Clubhouse rooms in both places. So if for some reason you don't want to be on Clubhouse and you want to pop in on YouTube, if you just feeling yourself and you want to be on camera, you can come on YouTube. The conversations are happening simultaneously. So if you follow me on social, which I'm pretty sure everybody in here already does, you'll see flyers and posts coming out on my story where you'll be able to see all the Clubhouse rooms that I'm hosting during the week. So this room will be happening on Thursdays. I'll still be doing my check-ins in a couple other rooms throughout the week. I'll be hosting meditations 3 times a week, and there's a couple other fun things coming up. So I encourage you just to stay up to date, stay posted. And if you have questions, you can always DM me. So if anybody has some closing thoughts on ways that you can, let me see, how do I want to phrase this? What is one way that you will take better care of yourself starting today? Mo?
I'm sorry, I'm over here doing other things. Basically, what I'm doing now, just, I don't know if you guys can hear me. Basically, what I'm doing now, just take out the time that's needed. No, I don't want to schedule myself in if I need to take a break. Continue to welcome my family, my friends to, to show their love and, their support, of course. And just meditate. I mean, every day varies, but I just think that if you just know that you're beautiful and know that you're strong and that anything you go through, you can overcome, because you overcome before. I think that just the ideal of just understanding who you are as an individual, I think that you'll be able to understand how to take care of yourself more. I mean, everybody's different, so I can't speak for everybody, but, for me, it just all depends, but just more so like just not neglect myself ever again. So that's how I do it, and I do different ways, but yeah, that's how I do it.
Awesome. Thank you for that, Mo. How about you, Miss Baldhead Batty? What is one thing that you can do to take better care of yourself starting today?
I think I already started by being honest and not, I was going to hang out down there by damn just chill. But I know I need to release because I'm always pouring out. I also know, and I tell people that you have to let somebody pour into you. So doing that, and then drop my calendar to people and be like, hey, you can get in where you fit in. If I'm not available, we're going to have to go next. You have to see me next month.
Yeah.
So that's me.
Yes. I love it. I love it. Thank you both for coming up onto the stage this evening and for sharing. I appreciate it. This has been a lovely way to reintroduce myself back into Clubhouse. So I will catch you guys again. I'll be back tomorrow morning doing a meditation at 9:30 in the morning Pacific Standard Time, and then also a meditation in the evening at 6:30 p.m. So hopefully I will catch you in one of those two opportunities to just get quiet, get still, and just build up some good positive energy. So thank you for being here, and I will catch y'all next time. As always, may you move forward through your day and through your life being blissful and blessed. Peace, y'all. All right, so that was interesting.